but I thought chess would be a good one to start with because it's something that I know. So for the English, for the first YouTube video for the Learn with Leo series, today, in this video, we're going to learn chess. We're going to cover as much about chess as we can. We're going to try and cover everything there is to know, from the basics, the fundamentals, all the way through to what you would need to know if you were to pursue this seriously, basically. And that's going to be the structure to all the Learn with Leo videos. We're going to try and go from beginner to advanced, roughly, or zero knowledge to all the knowledge in a certain topic, in a certain field. Tonight we're going to do chess, and I've got this kind of template here. This is not something that's going to be accessible to anybody else. This is just my notion. But at some point in the future, I'm going to put this online. It's going to be, all the information is going to be on the YouTube video that I post later. It will be out there. It will be out there. But this is kind of roughly how I've decided to structure it so far. I might change this. We've got the how to play chess section and resources. I think resources is going to be handy to have for pretty much every topic that we cover. And then we can start breaking things down. So I know a little bit about chess. I do play chess. I'm not an expert, but I thought chess would be a good one to start with because it's something that I know. For the first YouTube video for the Learn with Leo series, a few kind of categories of what you need to learn if you were to learn chess. So I'm going to start with like fundamentals maybe. Actually, probably even before that, you need to learn how the pieces move. Actually, I kind of want to make that learn the rules of the game, and then within that, we can say how each piece moves, pawn moves, because that's a different one. Understanding check, checkmate, and stalemate. Stalemate and checkmate are two different things. And not the same thing. It is incredible how many people don't understand that, apparently. But yeah, that's kind of why I've got Firefox open next to me, is that we're going to do some research. I certainly don't want to assume that I know enough to get us from 0 to 100. So we are going to be doing some research as well. But to start with, I'm going to jot down what I know, and then we're going to go from there. You've also got openings, you've got your kind of middle game and your end game. We're probably going to want resources for opening theory, beginner chess content, maybe tactics and puzzles. Maybe tactics and puzzles should be its own heading up here as well. You've also got actually, so you've got threefold repetition and 50 move rule. How castling works. Openings, so you want to build an opening repertoire. You want some openings as white, you want some openings as black, but then you can probably have like opening fundamentals, memorize theory, how to analyze a chess game, how to use an engine to study, maybe how to read chess notation. You want to understand the middle game ideas of your chosen openings. So you don't just like get through the opening and not really understand what you're doing. So things like pawn structures, right? I don't really know where I want to put them, but I think middle game makes sense. That's where it's kind of where it comes into play. And now you could really, you could go into a lot more detail as well. Like you could, for example, this point here, learn common mating sequences and endgames. You could break that down into king versus king and rook, and king versus king and queen, and king versus knight and bishop, or king versus king and pawn. And you could like break it down to all those, or you could just leave it at that and trust that if someone wants to learn endgames, they can go and Google common mating sequences, common endgames. So I don't really think it's worth breaking down into really specific ones. In the same way that I don't think it's worth breaking down openings as black, breaking that down further into learn an opening for e4, learn an opening for d4, learn an opening for knight f3. I don't think it makes sense to like worry about that level of like detail. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with like the start of this. Maybe practicing board visualization. In analysis, actually, maybe you can analyze like famous games and positions. Let's jump across now to Firefox, how to learn chess. We will just start there. There's a few other ideas that I've got about how we can kind of dive a bit further, where we can get some more inspiration from. I think there's probably good advice, there's good wisdom in telling people to play slower games and playing more games and then thinking about your mistakes.
I recommend longer games, 10-minute games, 15-minute games. I recommend playing just a few games a day and then analyzing. And when you analyze with a computer...
Common tactics, especially in the openings you play. Yeah, so I want to have a look at Naroditsky's channel because I feel like he's probably got some good content organized well. I feel like he's got his head screwed on, this guy. So this is kind of endgame stuff. So let's add king activity. I'm gonna remove pass pawns and just write pawn endgames. Weak color complexes. How to analyze a position. This looks like a pretty good resource actually. Advanced contents. And we'll add in chess.com article. And then we'll just add in a link. Beginner chess content, I do want to chuck down John Bartholomew. Opening theory, I am going to chuck down Hanging Pawns YouTube channel. He's got some fantastic information. Chessable, yeah, that's a really good one. I'm going to put that on a tactics and puzzles, but really they have content on pretty much everything. Maybe I'll put it in openings. There's another chess tactics website that I used a long time ago. I'll probably got to save it somewhere actually. Chess Tempo. It was Chess Tempo, yeah. Yeah, actually, I should put Lichess and chess.com down as well. Chess Vibes is a great resource for beginners, intermediate players. I've never heard of that actually. Chess Vibes. What we'll do is add Chess Vibes to beginner chess contents. I think I've pretty much covered a good chunk of what I was hoping to cover today. Perhaps you should add a section on how pieces can be used. For examples, rooks on the 7th rank or bishop. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go knight, bishop, rooks. Knights, bishops, rooks. Rooks on the 2nd/7th rank. Weak bishops versus strong bishops. Also add relative pace value, 100%. Let's add that to fundamentals, I think. This is exactly why I wanted to do this on stream. I'm not gonna think of everything. I'm gonna forget things. Especially when I get to more like complex topics that I don't know about. I'm not just gonna forget things. I'm not even gonna know about things. I think in tactics and strategies, I'm gonna add putting pressure on pins pieces. Any fans of Gotham chess will know that's PP on the PP. Look for forcing moves. Checks, captures, and attacks. Common attacking patterns. Yeah, I mean, you could like add endless detail to some of these points, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far. I think you are pretty much responsible for half this list, so thank you. I really appreciate it. I really do. I kind of need some sort of like outro. So there you have it. There is how to learn and play chess. Thank you to Twitch chat, specifically one person, chess player, LOL, for their contributions. Honestly, I really love doing this on stream and building this sort of stuff with help from basically people that know what they're talking about more than I do. In terms of like making sense of all this information, I would roughly recommend just working down in the order of what you've got there. There is going to be a lot of crossover in a lot of the content that you learn, and there's no clear distinction between beginner and advanced and intermediate in this resource. You can kind of take it as far as you want. Down the bottom, I also do have some resources. This is by no means an exhaustive list of resources, so if you do have something that you like to use, something you like to go to, drop a comment, let us all know so we can share it. and make the most of it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video. Hit subscribe and like if you enjoyed this and you want to see more. It'll let the algorithm know and it will help me out. So I really appreciate it. In the meantime, if you want to get in on the next video before we release it on YouTube, we do make them over on Twitch. Link will be in the description. You're more than welcome to come and join us and contribute to making one of those resources as well. I was gonna say one final sentence to kind of close out the video. I need a catchphrase. Say hi to your mum for me. Now I'm overthinking it though. I've thought too much about it. That's the end of the video.